Stroll around this neighborhood in China and you'd be forgiven if you thought you had landed in Africa. Here in the manufacturing town of Guangzhou, tens of thousands of Africans work and live, including Nigerian shop owner C.J. Kajatan. Kajatan moved here 2 years ago as a student, but decided to try his luck in trade.
What I found out that business is, there's a lot of opportunities in doing business here.
This trading community is at the heart of the African-Chinese business relationship.
15 is okay.
As China gains in economic stature, it's been scouring Africa for oil and other resources to feed its growing needs, attracting attention and criticism. But its rise is also luring more Africans to China's shores, most to export goods from the world's factory, now the biggest trading partner of the African continent.
Cheap Chinese goods end up at warehouses like this one, and then they're shipped all over Africa every day.
Trade is only part of the burgeoning relationship between the two. As China gets wealthier, African companies are looking to tap into the Chinese consumer. South Africa's S.A.B. Miller has been working for years with a local brewer and now produces China's biggest selling beer. Success more African companies can deliver as their nations gain firmer footing, according to consultant Cobus van der Watt.
China is repositioning itself continuously for that new Africa that is emerging. We're very well received. You know, we don't come with baggage. China is very open for business for us.
The bustling trade has led to this warren of markets where you can always find Africans and Chinese negotiating deals.
But sometimes those negotiations break down and lead to misunderstanding and conflict. Some Africans here complain of discrimination, restrictions on religious practices, and visa issues. Residents like shipper Festus Mbisiogu, who has been working in China for 6 years, say they have trouble getting documents to bring their families here, making it harder to settle down.
Our children are not allowed to reside in China, and our joy is not fully complete. We are not living with our children. You know, to make the money is not the problem. It's not all about life, but what about your family?
Near Beijing, South African factory manager Graham Hughes is new to China. He says navigating potential pitfalls like protecting intellectual property is a challenge.
I think if people bring things into China to get them manufactured here, I think keeping that technology secret, as it were, it would be very, very difficult.
The Chinese government says it's fighting to protect intellectual property rights. It says it welcomes foreigners to work and live in China and says its visa policies have been applauded. Despite the opportunities, many Africans still feel the overall relationship is far from a two-way street. Amid the criticism, the Chinese government is sponsoring programs at its universities to encourage Africans to study here. These students are taking part in a master's program in Beijing, learning economic models they hope can spur their nations of Liberia, Ghana, Tanzania, and Uganda to have sweeping transformations of their own.
I believe the social problems affecting China, they are the same problems affecting Uganda. I keep asking my question, what is China doing that Uganda can't do?
I believe industrialization promotes the development of the economy. But the other side I've seen is the pollution of the environment. It's hard for me to see the blue skies I used to see in my country.
Back in Guangzhou, clothes seller Kajatan has adapted to his environment. Like the students in Beijing, he wants to help modernize his country of Nigeria, one day drawing on his experience here.
My plans is to establish the factory because I like to live legacy. I want to help people. I want to employ people to work in my factory.
Creating new industries back home, sealing an increasingly important relationship in the developing world. Eunice Yoon, CNN, Guangzhou.